Question 6. In the diagram, segment AP is secant to the circle at points A and B, and segment CP is secant to the circle at points C and D. The lines intersect outside of the circle at point P. What is the length of segment AP? Okay, so it wants to know this whole length right here. Now notice that it has in segment AB a value of x, so we can't initially just directly find it. We're going to have to first find the value of x and then plug the value of x into right here, simplify that, and then we'll add these two segments together. So we're going to first find the value of x, then we will substitute the value found in for the segment AB. Then we know that AP by segment addition is equal to AB plus BP. So then we'll be able to find AP based on that. So first we're going to find the value of x. To first find that, we're going to use one of these three theorems that was given, noticing that they were secant lines that are intersecting outside of the circle. They intersect right here at point P. I'm going to use this theorem, and again, I just wrote the theorem out in words that I understood, so this is what I understood. It's the product of the whole secant length and the outside segment is equal to the product of the other whole secant segment length and the outside segment of secant segment. So what that means is I know that the product of the whole secant length, well, we know that the whole secant length for one of them is AP times, so that's the whole length, times just the outside portion, which is BP right here. So that's going to be multiplied by BP. So that is what this first portion means. And then the other side is the product again of the other whole secant segment, which is CP. So we have CP being multiplied by just the outside segment, which is DP right here. So we know that the value of AP is found by segment addition, so I'm going to just add x minus 8 plus 6 together, and since there's more than one term, I'm putting it in parentheses. And that's going to be multiplied by BP, which is 6. So CP, again, there's two parts, and by the segment addition, we can add x minus 5 plus 5, which is the length of CP. So x minus 5 plus 5, and DP is 5. So I'm just going to notice firsthand that x minus 8 plus 6, well, minus 8 plus 6 simplifies down to minus 2, or negative 2. And x minus 5 plus 5, well, minus 5 plus 5, or negative 5 plus 5 reduces down to 0, so we could have plus 0, and x plus 0 is left to be x. So I'm going to copy that, jump over to my algebra calculator, and explain these steps. So again, using tools to understand the process is learning. Using the tools to just give an answer is not learning. So seek for understanding of these. So on this we have x minus 2 times 6 is equal to x times 5. So it says to expand x minus 2 times 6. We can click right here to show the steps. So this is saying that we can use the distribution law, which means that the first, it's multiplied to both terms in the parentheses. So that's where we have the a times b and the a times c. So on this we would have 6 times x and 6 times negative 2. So that's where 6 times x is 6x, and 6 times negative 2 is reducing down to negative 12. So that's where that comes from. And we can hide our steps. So then, since we know that x minus 2 times 6 simplifies to 6x minus 12, that's where this left-hand side again came from. And x times 5 is 5x, so that's where this side came from. So now add 12 to both sides. Minus 12 plus 12, or negative 12 plus 12, reduces down to 0. And 6x plus 0 simplifies to 6x. So this combined goes to 0 plus 0. And 6x plus 0 is 6x. And then we have 5x plus 12. Since they are not like terms, meaning the 12 doesn't have an x on it, we just write it next to each other. So then we're going to subtract 5x from both sides. And again, this 5x minus 5x reduces down to plus 0x. And 0 times x would just be 0. And 12 plus 0 is just 12, so that's where they get this. 6x minus 5x reduces down to 1x, and again, that 1 is always implied in math. So x is equal to 12. And now step 2 is substitute the value found for x for segment AB. So segment AB equals x minus 8. So if I substitute what we found for x, which was 12, so we have 12 minus 8, which equals 4. So now we know that AB equals 4. So now again we can substitute that in. So AB is 4, BP is 6. So this whole segment A plus B is equal to 10.